with John Boy, which is the creator of the Wobble song. We were always there, either Tim or I or both of us. So I
But
love
in your
Justin.
but in your personal meetings with him, did he ever make any remarks on your appearance? Did he ever say, "Oh, you're gorgeous, you're beautiful," anything
Yeah,
of that matter?
he did say that. He did say that. But that was just like that was not to be taken as it was taken as more of a compliment. But Joyce and I we were backstage with him for about 4 or 5 hours together. And it was mostly about her music. And we didn't actually meet R. Kelly until after his show in California when we first flew as a so-called VIP guest.
Okay.
Everything was coordinated through Cheryl Mack. So she was the one who booked the flight travel, the hotel, the when we wanted to go to the mall, the car service. She's the one who did that.
So
Kelly,
so his team handled all the logistics, basically what they call the logistics. Okay.
And Angelo knows for sure. We've never discussed with Tim. Used to stay on the phone with Angelo for hours a day. And sometimes I still have my phone. Like you said, like the feds kept Alice's phone and got the messages from Alice and her daughter. They kept both of my phones and Tim's phone and everything. I gave it to out. With no problems. Nothing was found in my phone or Tim's phone.
Right.
Only thing that we were, like I said, I don't know if Tim told you, but when the first time that we found out that JonJelyn was, when we found out through Tone that she was having an inappropriate relationship with him, we decided the music career is not for her at this time. So we agreed as a family, including JonJelyn, that we were just back after music right now, and she would attend college. So she wanted to stay in Georgia, but she was a student on the, she did enroll as a full-time student on the campus.
And I can imagine too, I can imagine too, her being young, she probably felt like too, okay, school is cool, but it's R. Kelly. So R.
Kelly's older than her parents.
True.
40s. R. Kelly's probably 10 years older than me. All her boyfriends or her guys,
Adonis. Yeah, that's his name, Adonis.
He was crazy about JonJelyn. We never thought R. Kelly is something what we grew up in. Tim and I've been together since 11th grade.
I'm glad you brought that up too, because when I watched those documentaries, what always got me was, how are these young girls such fans of R. Kelly? This ain't even their generation. Right.
But no, because my daughter and we knew that I'm a businesswoman. Tim's a businesswoman. We had a boutique that we met Kevin Giles through my boutique, which was his stage manager at the time.
Right. We talked about that.
Okay, yeah. And that was actually through a female friend of that used to date Kevin Giles, the stage manager.
Okay. Did R. Kelly ever give you any money for your boutique?
No, not one dime. No. Actually, when we went to visit him the first time in California, I had already closed my boutique down.
Okay.
And that was in Old National. I had one in Buckhead, downtown Atlanta, but near Lenox Mall. And then Old National, we had closed both of those stores down.
Got you. Okay. Hey, these are things we got to ask. But one thing I just want to make sure so we understand. Robert never hit on you in any kind of way.
No.
Did he ever offer you anything to drink or any illegal substances?
No.
Even like in his VIP, they didn't have liquor or anything like that?
I had cigars. I brought one to Tim.
You did bring me a cigar back.
A cigar,
and
okay.
His uncle.
And he never had any type of sex with you or any inappropriate sexual misconduct.
Let me reiterate. I don't know. Only thing I told not Alice, but Angelo, I've always stressed we've only met him twice. And both visits that we met him were coordinated through his female assistants. And and then once I found out once I started getting word about from her college roommate what was possibly going on, I reached out to Cheryl Mack, which is London's on the Track's mom. And I asked, by this time, she had already left. She was no longer working with R. Kelly. And she agreed to give me anything that I needed. And she told me my daughter did not deserve that lifestyle. And she told me how he was, she sent me a list. She sent me the codes of his main house in Atlanta, as well as the guest house where he had kept the girls, where we did the press release that no one really knew about. And that's what we did. That's what we did. That's what we initially did the initial press release in July 17th, 2017.
Okay.
So when people say we didn't speak out until after the documentary, no. The documentary actually came to us. Bunny My Mary came to us to
the
pitch
day
a
we
show.
was at R. Kelly house trying to find out what's going on
And
our door.
Gotcha. Were you ever in the room alone with him for 3 hours?
With my daughter, yes.
You, your daughter, and Robert.
At that stage, at the location where the concert was. Yes.
Okay.
And then we only met him twice. The second time we met him, I had him actually take my middle daughter and me and JonJelyn. So we all traveled together.
Okay. I wanted your opinion on this, Mr. Savage. According to Dream Hampton, most of the women that were interviewed for Surviving R. Kelly, they had actually said they did not want him put in jail. They wanted him to get psychological help, rehab, etc.
I found all of those. I found Kitty Jones on Christmas Eve of 2016 myself. I went on a hunt after when, I don't know if you're familiar with the BuzzFeed article that originally came out in 2017. Mm-hmm. We were trying to get the story together. Now, remind you, the first that JonJelyn, Tone had, I know why he hadn't signed the paperwork, because I'm really upset. I was a little upset with Tone and his family for not coming to us earlier because they let it get out of hand. So when Tim went over there they wanted to confide in Tim and have him sign paperwork, it was almost like they wanted maybe, they maybe thought they could make money off of the deal. But even with Tone, our producer, we later found out that he said he would not fly males out.
So they wouldn't fly Mr. Savage out with
we wouldn't fly no
Tim wasn't trying.
Well, I wasn't trying to get.
But like I said, we had my younger daughter. So we're in Atlanta. We're from Memphis. So our main family are in Tennessee. So we never leave our girls alone with any strangers or any friends, family that we don't know as much. So Tim stayed back with my youngest daughter. So it was Joyce and I that went.
Okay. When he would fly you guys out, how did he fly you? First class, private?
Well, like I said, everything was coordinated through Cheryl Mack the first time.
But it
was not first class. No, okay. It was domestic.
Domestic.
Car service picked us up, took us to the hotel. The first time we didn't meet R. Kelly until after the show, after he had to meet his so-called VIP guests that paid for the VIP upgrade. So we waited around until all of that was done, and we basically conversated with Cheryl Mack up until it was time for us to go back into the green room.
Everything went through her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And she's the one who gave me all the information. So the information that I got was not hearsay.
It was straight from the horse's mouth. From Cheryl.
And Cheryl was in the process of writing a tell-all book at the time called Dirty Laundry. She never released it, but we do have the summary of the book. Okay. But she never released it.
And I asked Mr. Savage just while you were upstairs, are you able to stand behind everything you said in any interview, the documentary, etc.?
100%.
Okay.
We have nothing to. We have others. Jorson was our oldest. So we've had $3 together. I've even had predators put out when we first moved to Atlanta.
Mhm.
I did how you do the searches for predators in your area, sex offenders in your area.
Oh yeah.
I even ran a search and found that the first apartment we moved in Atlanta, found out a predator was staying under us. So we went to the management and they did their investigation, and the predators that were living under us had been there. There was a Caucasian couple. They had to leave. They had been over there 10 years. So it's like people think, oh, this is R. Kelly. If you wouldn't fight, you wouldn't did this if it wasn't a superstar. No. I've even had for my middle daughter, if I thought someone was too old for her and took advantage of her, we're attempted to press charges. It's not about he's been R. Kelly, because he's just a man, because he separate. I grew up on R. Kelly's music, but my girls did not. They were not fans of R. Kelly, but they knew who he wrote for, like Whitney Houston. Even when the second time we visited him, he was actually working with Fantasia.
Oh, he wrote for everybody. I mean,
everybody. So when people say, "Why did you let her write? Why did you let her be introduced to him and work with him?" Because this was a business transaction. This was not personal. This was not a personal thing. And long as one is if I was with her or Tim was with her, it was about the music. Period. It was about the music. You know, it was not that she should be alone with him. I don't trust my daughters with any man. And my middle daughter is a MVP track star in middle school and in high school. I don't let her go with. I don't just trust her with her coaches. You know, I've background searches on them as well. But we're always at the track meets.
I feel
so I trust no man
with your kids. And you know, the people are they're gonna say, well, damn, you know, just based on the history, the alleged history, why work with him at all?
The history. Nobody talked about the history. If somebody talked about the history, Drill would have came out and said how he molested their daughter. She took the money of the settlement instead. It could have been stopped long time ago. Yeah. Rashonda, he finally got convicted in Chicago for Rashonda. They sent them over. They sent their family overseas. They never testified. Just like they talk about Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby. I had no personal knowledge of these people, so I never judged them. Until it happens to your family directly, you do not judge other people based off of what the media says.
But what about
because
the tape?
You're still seeing it writing for Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Fantasia, even under Beyonce, putting out hits for a whole bunch of Atlanta artists, Madonna, everybody. It's a business transaction. That's all it is. It's a business. And you know, it's not personal. It's not personal.
And when you talk about people, you know, other people like Drea, or Geronda, all this is hearsay from us, because at the end of the day, we wasn't there.
Right.
So you have to say it's hearsay. Family. Right.
We until we know, I know for a shadow of doubt that I do not agree with some of the things that Clarice did, because they had us fooled. I have a whole thread of messages that I'm ready to share with Bunjin, because they came out like we got a call. She didn't show up for after spring after fall break for spring. Her room was cleaned out. That's when we went public. We didn't go public the first time we found out that she was dealing with him. We quietly agreed that music's not for you. We just gonna agree to go to college and we'll business music thing later in the future, maybe with a different artist or independent or whatever. We didn't go blast it, so we weren't looking to expose R. Kelly, the artist. We exposed R. Kelly, Robert Sylvester Kelly, the man.
After the Clarice claimed that, well, okay, Azriel didn't come back, even though now we know from the text that they sent her. they knew the whole time.
The same letter that they showed on Lifetime, or the one they showed us, is where they claim they signed her over to so-called song, but they were bamboozled, and it actually was Juice mom. Juice is one of the girls that has been with him for years, and it's kind of like a female.
And I don't
Rob,
even think
but that's not
that
true.
all that is fake.
That's fake.
I
And
think
then,
all of it is
yeah,
fake.
and kind of hindsight, if it was really from Sony, it would have been stamped. It would have been stamped. It would have been
official. It would have been official.
It's official.
It would have been
right.
official document.
Yeah.
But you know, we
Yeah.
have to understand that as the Savage family, we had to separate ourselves from the Clarys because the Clarys are liars. I don't have no other way to put it. I'm trying to do it as a nice way, but you have no nice way of putting this.
Just put it out there. It's already out there now. Hey.
They're liars.
I've started a nonprofit for human trafficking because human trafficking is very big in Atlanta, Georgia. I even had a young lady come in my boutique from shows, and my JonJelyn and my other daughter, they laughed it off. She was like, "Oh, Kelly, his people put me in the hotel for one night and they put me out. Can I come home with you all?" I said, "No, but I can help you call 411, and find some resources." But we it still didn't click in our heads that what she was going through was about to happen to us. Maybe a year or two later.
The things that he would say. The things that the Clarys, I say, I can't point my finger at one individual, so I just have to say the Clary family, or the Clarys of Angelo Clary and Alice Clary. I have to say the Clary family has manipulated not just the Savages, but has manipulated a lot of people.
But let me tell you this: they set their daughter up for failure. Because I just did a search a few weeks ago and found out I have a predator less than 5 miles from me. Okay? So it's just like, if I knew this predator lives 5 miles from me, it's a millionaire or whatever, and I let my daughter go down there, and he's 30 years older than her, and he can offer her certain things, will I let her go? No. So they felt that he was going to make her a star. But when we came out, and I
was gonna say, because people might say the same thing about you guys too.
Yeah, they could say it, but never changed our story, and there's nothing you can say different because
what makes our story different. Right. When we found out the first time that she had, before we knew about sex cults or any of that, we found out she had an inappropriate relationship when Tim met Tone. We backed out of music. Period. We did not encourage her to keep having a relationship for music. So that separates us from the Clarys.
Absolutely.
Period.
Okay. Absolutely.
We were not trying to, keep
doing it. Keep going down there. Having a press with him. Look this type of way. Go dress go to the hotel or go dress this certain way. No, that wasn't.
We cut him off. You know what happened in Chicago when I found out that we had found out that she had inappropriate relationships with him, and we were trying to find out if she had her herpes or not. I flew down there, and we told her not to tell him that
because she wanted to dress him.
We were informed that she had been with him sexually. Asked her not to tell him because we wanted to find out the results. She told him, and we have it on tape that when he found out that he told her, he even told her to lie. Yeah, and say that she made it up. We have that on doc. We have that
because he didn't
on tape.
He didn't want it out there, but now it's been so many people that we all know now.
You have to blame. See, when you find out something, if you find your daughter asleep, but see, they put their daughter in a situation. It's different from us because they put their daughter.
They unknowingly put her in a situation.
That's what I'm saying.
Because they thought that
put her in this situation.
It's almost like a woman or a man sleeps their way to the top of a corporate ladder. You either work hard to get your way to the corporate ladder, or you sleep with a man or a woman to get to the corporate ladder.
It's a difference when you have.
I was not raised that way. I come from a stable home.
It's a difference.
And we were not raised that way to sleep with a man or a woman.
Let me ask you this person here sent a super chat. They said ask her about Cash Jones and her husband.
Right.
Cash Jones and her husband.
She talking about Cash Jones. Yeah, when Cash Jones, when I met Cash Jones, I was trying to find out information about Cash, and I tried to find out the wrong way. I guess I flirted with her, trying to see what was what, so I could find more information about my daughter. And after I talked to Cash live on somebody, I can't think who channels was, Atlas channel, we got that squared away. But at the end of the day, I do apologize to my wife because that's something I shouldn't have did, and that's something that shouldn't have happened.
It's a storm show. Ay, it's a storm show.